Demon FM 107.5. 107.5.
Hello, welcome back to Demon FM's live coverage of the DSU elections 2013. Make sure you get tweeting your questions in. It's at Demon FM using the hashtag DSU elections. We are now joined by Welfare. Unfortunately, there are two candidates for this position. One of them has sent his apologies. He can't be here due to illness. So Alexander Cook can't be here because he is ill. So we are joined with Sarah Lister. I'll let you know how we're going to be doing this. We're going to be giving you 3 questions that you are to answer, and then we'll be taking a point from your manifesto and questioning you on that point. You will have pretty much as long as you want to answer the questions, seeing as there's no one else here. Firstly, why do you believe that you are the correct candidate for this position, and what can you bring to the position that the other candidates will not?
Well, I didn't have a very good start to my university life, and it was the DSU that actually helped me out. I'm quite involved with the Students' Union, I've put in my manifesto, so I think I know quite a lot about it, and being involved in it has really helped me out. Sorry, what was the second part to the question?
I don't know, because I turned the page.
Sorry, Dan.
Second part of the question, what can you bring to the position that your other candidates will not?
Well, I'm a drama student, so I'm quite creative, quite fun, so I think more fun and creative side I can bring than the other students can.
Okay, thank you. Make sure you do get your questions in for the welfare candidates at Demon FM or 60300, starting with the word demon. It's these people that are going to look after your welfare, your well-being. They're the people that are going to campaign for healthy food provisions, etc. on campus. These are the people that you need to be speaking to. So make sure you get your questions in, anything at all regarding to welfare. You can text in or email, or you can tweet us and we'll be asking those questions. The next question for you. As Vice President of Welfare, you are responsible for the awareness of drugs and alcohol. What plans do you have in place if you're elected to tackle one of the biggest issues of student life?
Well, obviously, getting more students involved with the student union, so going out and campaigning for drug and alcohol awareness, putting up posters in the union itself on things like drinking water while you're on a night out, just being able to look after yourself, because we all know that students are going to go out and drink alcohol. Obviously not all of them, but most students do. So just promoting how to look after yourself if you are out having a good time.
Okay, thank you. The next question. Housing is an issue that many students come across. A lot of students nowadays are currently renting in mould-infested houses and in conditions that a professional, inverted commas, person may not accept. How, as Vice President of Welfare, will you help the students of housing from within the Students' Union, and how far would you go to help a student?
Well, the Welfare Centre does deal with housing at the moment, and they have got quite good services there. So it's obviously promoting the Welfare Centre that's in the Student Union itself, getting students to that if they have a problem with their housing and know they can support. I know they have helped out one of my friends recently, so it's getting students engaged with them.
Okay, thank you. The next question. How are you going to make sure that all services that the Students' Union offer can be easily accessed by students, thinking specifically of the Welfare and Education Centre?
Well, hopefully with the redevelopment of the Students' Union, I want to campaign to bring the Welfare Centre more forward, maybe downstairs so people are more aware of whereabouts it is, maybe make it more signposted because it's hidden behind that great big red wall at the moment, so just getting it more out there.
Okay, and the final question. Community initiatives are something that as Vice President of Welfare you are expected to bring to De Montfort University and the Students' Union. How do you intend to do this, and how are you going to get the information out to the students?
Again, I said I was fun and creative, so it's literally just getting out there, even if it's coming up, dressing up wacky, just trying to get students involved, engaging more students that aren't involved with the union as well.
Okay, thank you. We've had a text in. The text reads, what are you going to do to improve security, both personal and property, on and around campus? There's also a kiss at the end. Yeah,
there has been thing about security issues around campus recently. So it's just about making people feel safe. I'm more campaigning for people being able to look after themselves, because obviously we can't reduce every risk on campus. So it's getting people aware of obviously safety in numbers, walking home, being prepared themselves, taking the classes that Sherry's currently putting on, self-defence classes, so they know what to do in case they are under that.
Okay, thank you. We had another tweet in. Do remember to get your tweets in at Demon FM, both for the welfare position and we've got the presidential candidates up after this. The tweet is, as VP Welfare, how would you use the redevelopment of the Students' Union to students' advantage in terms of food provision?
Okay, yeah. I want to obviously put pressure on the university to involve more companies into the redevelopment. So that's including a variety of foods, halal food, kosher food, foods to suit vegetarian and vegan needs, just get a better variety downstairs.
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to a question from Demon FM to you. This is taken from something in your manifesto. While we do this, get your tweet in at Demon FM, or you can text in 60300, start with the word Demon. Also, if you're out there watching and you want to ask a question, raise your hand. Someone will come to you with a microphone and you can ask your question. This question from us then. In your manifesto, you say you want to promote a healthy lifestyle to improve the students' overall well-being. Nowadays, students live on an average of £40 per week after rent and bills. How are you going to run a live well for less on that sort of budget, taking into account other activities that a student gets up to?
Yeah, I just want to get to all the students, make them aware of how it is cheap and how being healthy can be cheap. Obviously, we've got a market close to us that sell cheap fruit and vegetables. I was told that on one of the Better Union forums, there was people asking for the market to actually be on campus. So maybe trying to bring them in just to promote the cheaper, healthy foods.
Okay, thank you. In case you have just tuned in, you are wondering why there is only one candidate we're talking to. Xander Cook couldn't be here due to illness, so there is just the one welfare candidate with us at the moment. There are two currently running in the elections at the moment, however. Any questions from the audience, please do raise your hand. If not, get your tweet in at Demon FM. You can also also text in 60300, starting with the word Demon. We haven't got much time left with a welfare candidate. However, if you do want to know something, please do let us know. This is the person that's going to be promoting your welfare and your well-being on a local and national level. It's vitally important that the right person is in the position. I wonder if the current Vice President Welfare is in the room. Anything she wants to add? No, she doesn't. She's got a massive mouth, but she doesn't want to ask a question. I don't know what that's about, but never mind. She is very small with a tiny, huge mouth. Any other questions from anyone in the audience? Want to ask anything, put a question to the Vice President Welfare? Yes, we've got one of the presidential candidates wants to ask a question of the Vice President Welfare.
What do you think the biggest threat to student welfare is at the minute?
I think recently it's the security issue. I think a lot of you would have heard about incident from a girl walking home from the library, so it's getting out there, especially to the girls at the moment walking home in numbers, being safe when you are, even after a night, not even just from a night out, walking home just from your library.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or any other candidates want to post a question to the Vice President Welfare candidate, Sarah Lister? Yes, we have one from the current Vice President Welfare who didn't want to ask a question a few minutes ago. Now she's just being awkward with her massive mouth.
Sorry, I came up with a really good question for you. What are your plans to involve some of our more disengaged students across campus?
I keep saying this, but yeah, just trying to get all students involved. I have had previous work experience with working with students with disabilities as well, so it's trying to get them more involved in the Students' Union, hopefully working with the elected Vice President sports and activities to try and get everybody involved.
Okay, thank you. I've got a question from me to you. Obviously, with welfare campaigns, etc., they happen regularly, and they've been happening more frequently than ever before this year. That's partially down to the credit of the current Vice President Welfare. However, we do struggle with communication and getting students to know about those campaigns. What will you plan to do to ensure that students know about what you're doing and how you're promoting a healthy and well-being lifestyle for them?
I know everyone says this, but social networking sites, getting it out on Facebook, on Twitter, I think pretty much everyone I know has either Facebook or Twitter. So basically just spamming all your Facebook page with our campaigns.
And do you think that at present the Students' Union is too dependent on getting their message across via social media, or do you think that's the best format for students to get in touch?
At the moment, I do think it is the best format to get in touch, but obviously there's emails as well, and I know I keep saying this, but getting out on campus and dragging students in.
Okay, thank you. We've got about 1 minute left. Any questions from the audience? Anyone that someone wants to ask Sarah quickly before she goes? Yes, we've got another one of the presidential candidates.
There was a question in the question time about mental health, and obviously both candidates struggled to answer that. Have you given it any more thought how you would help people with mental health issues?
Can you just repeat the question for the listeners that weren't present at the question time, please?
The question was 1 in 3 people, or the actual stat is 1 in 4 people, suffer from mental health issues. How are you going to raise awareness about this?
Again, I keep saying it, getting out and getting more students involved. Obviously using more facts like that, promoting them around, using Facebook, like I said, getting out, making people know, making people more known about the welfare services that we have to offer, especially if the redevelopment, if I can bring them forward, then I can take them out.
Okay, thank you. That just about wraps it up for the for the Vice President Welfare candidates. Up next, we're going to be having the President. We're going to be playing a song for you now. Do get your tweets and texts in for the President at Demon FM, or you can send a text 603 00 starting with the word Demon. Keep tuning in to Demon FM. We're here with you until 2 o'clock, and we're going to have the Big Bang Dig Dong that is the presidential debate up next live on 107.5 Demon FM. Keep tuned in.